Genesis chapter 25. And Abraham took another wife, whose name was Keturah, and she bore him Zimran, Yokshan, and Medan, and Midian, and Yishbak, and Shua. And Yokshan brought forth Sheba, and Dedan. And the sons of Dedan were Asurim, Letushim, and Leuman. And the sons of Midian were Ephah, and Epher, and Hanak, and Abidah, and Eldiah. All these were the children of Keturah. Now Abraham gave all that he had to Isaac, but to the sons of the concubines whom Abraham had, Abraham gave gifts while he was still living, and sent them away from his son Isaac, eastward to the land of the east. And these are all the years of Abraham's life, which he lived, 175 years. And Abraham breathed his last and died in good old age, aged and satisfied, and was gathered to his people. And his sons Isaac and Ishmael buried him in the cave of Machpelah, which is before Mamre, in the field of Ephron, son of Soar the Hittite, the field which Abraham purchased from the sons of Heth. There Abraham was buried with Sarah his wife. And it came to be, after the death of Abraham, that Elohim blessed his son Isaac, and Isaac dwelt at Beer-lahai-roi. And this is the genealogy of Ishmael, Abraham's son, who Hagar the Mitzrite, Sarah's female servant, who bore to Abraham. And these were the names of the sons of Ishmael, by their names according to their generations. The firstborn of Ishmael, Nebaioth, then Kedar, and Adbeel, and Mibsam, and Mishma, and Duma, and Massa, Hadar, and Tema, Yetur, Naphish, and Kedemah. These were the sons of Ishmael, and these were their names by their towns and their settlements, 12 chiefs according to their tribes. And these were the years of the life of Ishmael, 137 years. And he breathed his last and died, and was gathered to his people. And they dwelt from Havilah as far as Shur, which is the east of Mitzrayim, as you go toward Ashur. He settled before all his brothers. This is the genealogy of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham brought forth Isaac, and Isaac was 40 years old when he took Ribkah as a wife, the daughter of Bethuel, the Aramean of Padan Aram, the sister of Laban, the Aramean. And Isaac prayed to Yahweh for his wife, because she was barren. And Yahweh answered his prayer, and Ribkah his wife conceived. And within her the children struggled together, and she said, "If all is right, why am I this way?" So she went to ask Yahweh. And Yahweh said to her, 2 nations are in your womb, and 2 peoples shall be separated from your body. And one people shall be stronger than the other, and the older serve the younger. And when the days were filled for her to give birth, and see, twins were in her womb. And the first came out red all over, like a hairy garment. So they called his name Esau. And afterward his brother came out, with his hand holding onto Esau's heel. So his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 60 years old when he bore them. And the boys grew up, and Esau became a man, knowing how to hunt, a man of the field, while Jacob was a complete man, dwelling in tents. And Isaac loved Esau, because he ate of his wild game, but Ribkah loved Jacob. And Jacob cooked a stew, and Esau came in from the field, and he was weary. And Esau said to Jacob, "Please feed me with that same red stew, for I am weary." That is why his name was called Edom. But Jacob said, "Sell me your birthright today." And Esau said, "Look, I am going to die, so why should I have a birthright?" And Jacob said, "Swear to me today." And he swore to him and sold his birthright to Jacob. Jacob then gave Esau bread and stew of lentils, and he ate and drank, and rose up and left. Thus Esau despised his birthright. Chapter 26. And there was scarcity of food in the land, besides the first scarcity of food, which was in the days of Abraham. And Isaac went to Abimelech, the sovereign of the Philistines, in Gerar. And Yahweh appeared to him and said, "Do not go down to Mitzrayim. Live in the land which I command you. Sojourn in this land, and I shall be with you and bless you. For I give all these lands to you and your seed, and I shall establish the oath which I swore to Abraham your father. And I shall increase your seed like the stars of the heavens, and I shall give all the lands to your seed. And in your seed all nations of the earth shall be blessed, because Abraham obeyed my voice and guarded my charge, my commands, my laws, and my Torah." And Isaac dwelt in Gerar. And when the men of the place asked about his wife, he said, "She is my sister." For he was afraid to say, "She is my wife," thinking, lest the men of the place should kill me for Ribkah, because she is good looking. And it came to be, when he had been there a long time, that Abimelech, sovereign of the Philistines, looked through a window, and he watched and saw Isaac playing with Ribkah his wife. So Abimelech called Isaac and said, "See, truly she is your wife. So how could you say she is my sister?" And Isaac said to him, "Because I said, lest I die on account of her." And Abimelech said, "What is this you have done to us? One of the people had almost lain with your wife, and you would have brought guilt on us." And Abimelech commanded all his people, saying, "He who touches this man or his wife shall certainly be put to death." And Isaac sowed in that land, and reaped in the same year 100-fold, and Yahweh blessed him. And the man grew great, and went forward until he became very great. And he came to have possessions of flocks, and possessions of herds, and a great body of servants. And the Philistines envied him. And the Philistines had stopped up all the wells which his father's servants had dug in the days of Abraham his father, and filled them with dirt. And Abimelech said to Isaac, "Go away from us, for you are much mightier than we." So Isaac went from there, and pitched his tent in the Wadi Gerar, and dwelt there. And Isaac dug again the wells of water which they had dug in the days of Abraham his father, for the Philistines had stopped them up after the death of Abraham. And he called them by the names which his father had called them. But when Isaac's servants dug in the wadi and found a well of running water there, the herdsmen of Gerar strove with Isaac's herdsmen, saying, "The water is ours." And he called the name of the well Esek, because they strove with him. And they dug another well, and they strove over that one too, and he called its name Sitnah. And he moved from there and dug another well, and they did not strive over it, and he called the name Rehoboth, and said, "For now Yahweh has made room for us, and we shall be fruitful in the land." And from there he went up to Beersheba. And Yahweh appeared to him the same night and said, "I am the Elohim of your father Abraham. Do not fear, for I am with you, and shall bless you and increase your seed for my servant Abraham's sake." And he built a slaughter place there, and called on the name of Yahweh, and he pitched his tent there, and the servants of Isaac dug a well there. And Abimelech came to him from Gerar with Ahuzath, one of his friends, and Pekol, the commander of his army. And Isaac said to them, "Why have you come to me, seeing you have hated me and have sent me away from you?" But they said, "We have clearly seen that Yahweh is with you." And we said, "Please, let there be an oath between us, between you and us, and let us make a covenant with you, that you do no evil to us, as we have not touched you, as we have done only good toward you, and have sent you away in peace. You are now blessed by Yahuwah. And he made them a feast, and they ate and drank. And they rose early in the morning and swore an oath with one another. And Isaac let them go, and they departed from him in peace. And on the same day it came to be that the servants of Isaac came and informed him about the well which they had dug, and said to him, "We have found water." So he called it Sheba. Therefore the name of the city is Beersheba to this day. And when Esau was 40 years old, he took his wives, Yehudith, the daughter of Beri, the Hittite, and Basemath, the daughter of Elon, the Hittite. And they were a bitterness of spirit to Isaac and Rivkah. Chapter 27. And it came to be, when Isaac was old, and his eyes were too dim to see, that he called Esau, his elder son, and said to him, "My son." And he answered him, "Here I am." And he said, "See, now I am old. I do not know the day of my death. Now then, please take your weapons, your quiver and your bow, and go out to the field and hunt wild game for me. Make me a tasty dish, such as I love, and bring it to me to eat, in order that my being does bless you before I die." And Rivkah heard when Isaac spoke to Esau his son. And Esau went to the field to hunt wild game and to bring it. And Rivkah spoke to Jacob her son, saying, "See, I heard your father speak to Esau your brother, saying, 'Bring me wild game and make me a tasty dish to eat, and bless you in the presence of Yahuwah before my death. And now, my son, listen to my voice, according to what I command you. Please go to the flock and bring me 2 choice young goats, and I make a tasty dish from them for your father, such as he loves. And you shall take it to your father, and he shall eat it, so that he might bless you before his death." And Jacob said to Rivkah his mother, "See, Esau my brother is a hairy man, and I am a smooth-skinned man. What if my father touches me? Then I shall be like a deceiver in his eyes, and shall bring a curse on myself and not a blessing." But his mother said to him, "Let your curse be on me, my son. Only obey my voice and go, get them for me." And he went and fetched them, and brought them to his mother, and his mother made a tasty dish, such as his father loved. And Rivkah took the best garments of her elder son Esau, which were with her in the house, and put them on Jacob, her younger son. And she put the skins of the young goats on his hands, and on the smooth part of his neck. Then she gave the tasty dish and the bread, which she had prepared, into the hand of her son Jacob. And he went to his father and said, "My father." And he said, "Here I am." "Who are you, my son?" And Jacob said to his father, "I am Esau, your firstborn. I've done as you said to me. Please rise, sit and eat of my wild game, so that your being might bless me." But Isaac said to his son, "How is it that you have found it so quickly, my son?" And he said, "Because Yahuwah your Elohim brought it to me." And Isaac said to Jacob, "Please come near, so that I feel you, my son, whether you truly are my son Esau or not." And Jacob went near to Isaac his father. And he felt him and said, "The voice is the voice of Jacob, but the hands are the hands of Esau." And he did not recognize him, for his hands were hairy, like his brother's Esau's hands. And he blessed him. And he said, "Are you truly my son Esau?" And he said, "I am." And he said, "Bring it near to me, and let me eat of my son's wild game, so that my being might bless you." So he brought it near to him, and he ate, and he brought him wine, and he drank. And his father Isaac said to him, Please come near and kiss me, my son. And he came near and kissed him, and he smelled the smell of his garments, and blessed him, and said, See, the smell of my son is like the smell of a field which Yahweh has blessed. And Elohim give you of the dew of the heavens, of the fatness of the earth, and plenty of grain and wine. Let peoples serve you, and nations bow down to you. Be master over your brothers, and let your mother's son bow down to you. Cursed be those cursing you, and blessed be those blessing you. And it came to be, as soon as Isaac had finished blessing Jacob, and Jacob had hardly left the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from his hunting, and he too had made a tasty dish, and brought it to his father, and said to his father, Let my father rise and eat of his son's wild game, so that your being might bless me. And his father Isaac said to him, Who are you? And he said, I am your son, your firstborn Esau. Then as Isaac trembled exceedingly and said, Who was it then who hunted wild game and brought it to me? And I ate of it, all of it before you came, and I have blessed him. Yes, he is blessed. When Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with an exceedingly great and bitter cry, and said to his father, Bless me too, O my father. And he said, Your brother came with deceit and took your blessing. And Esau said, Was his name then called Jacob? For he has caught me by the heel these 2 times. He took my birthright, and see now he has taken my blessing. And he said, Have you not reserved a blessing for me? Then Isaac answered and said to Esau, See, I have made him your master, and all his brothers I have given to him as servants. And I have sustained him with grain and wine. And what then shall I do for you, my son? And Esau said to his father, Have you only one blessing, my father? Bless me too, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said to him, See, your dwelling is of the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of the heavens from above. And by your sword you are to live, and serve your brother. And it shall be, when you grow restless, that you shall break his yoke from your neck. And Esau hated Jacob, because of the blessing which his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, The days of mourning for my father draw near, then I am going to kill my brother Jacob. And the words of Esau, her older son, were reported to Ribekah. And she sent and called Jacob her younger son, and said to him, See, your brother Esau comforts himself concerning you, to kill you. And now, my son, listen to my voice, and rise. Flee to my brother Laban in Haran, and stay with him a few days, until your brother's wrath turns away, until your brother's displeasure turns away from you, and he forgets what you have done to him. And I shall send and bring you from there. Why should I be bereaved of you both in one day? And Ribekah said to Isaac, I am disgusted with my life because of the daughters of Heth. If Jacob takes a wife from the daughters of Heth, like these who are the daughters of the land, what is my life to me?